It is another beautiful morning. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Carnival Breakfast Show coming to you from Carnival Radio. This is Newspaper Review. I am Joseph Oyekola. Good morning and welcome once again. Today on Newspaper Review, I come with refined the newspapers, and each of them with interesting stories. I have the Punch with me, I have the Vanguard newspaper, I have the Post, and I have the Nation newspaper. Starting from the Vanguard newspaper. Children's Day, captive Oyo, but no pupils cast shadow over celebration. ADC primary proved democracy can work in Nigeria, says David Mark. NDC insists primaries hold May 29 despite Eid-el-Kabir holidays. 2027 Fubara loyalists risk political obvision after primary election losses. And on to the news and details. Reading from the Vanguard newspaper, Children's Day celebration across the country on Wednesday were overshadowed by growing concerns over the abduction of school children and teachers in Oyo and Borno State, with President Bola Tinubu, Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State, and other stakeholders renewing calls for their safe return. At least 82 pupils were abducted between May 13 and 15 during separate attacks in these two states. In Borno State, 42 pupils were kidnapped after armed groups attacked schools in Azikra, Uba, and Chibok local government areas on May 13 and 14. In Oyo, another 40 pupils were abducted on May 15 during coordinated attacks on Baptist Nursery and Primary School, Yawote Community Grammar School, and LA Primary School, Esiele, in Oriri local government area of the state. The Oyo attack also claimed the lives of a mathematics teacher, Michael Oyedokun, a motorcyclist, and the security operative during his rescue effort. In a personal statement to mark Children's Day, which coincided with Eid-el-Kabir, Tinubu assured that the abducted children and teachers had not been abandoned. The president lamented that some children who should have been celebrating with their families were instead being held by criminals. For more details, please visit the Vanguard newspaper. Children's Day, captive Oyo but no pupils cast shadow over celebration. In another news from the Punch newspaper, ADC primary proved democracy can work in Nigeria, says David Mark. National Chairman of the African Democratic Congress, Senator David Mark, on Wednesday said the party's presidential primary had demonstrated that democracy and political competition could still thrive in Nigeria without crisis or division. Mark spoke at the Congress Hall of Transcorp Hilton, Abuja, during the official coalition and declaration event of the party's presidential primary, where former Vice President Atiku Abubakar emerged as the ADC presidential candidate for the 2027 general election. According to the results announced at the event, Atiku defeated former Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amechi and former banker Mohammed Hayatuddin in the contest. Following the declaration, Mark officially presented the ADC flag to Atiku as the party's presidential standard bearer. Speaking at the event, the former Senate president said the exercise was not merely about producing the presidential candidate, but also about proving that internal democracy could still function effectively in the country. This news was sourced from the Punch newspaper. ADC primary proved democracy can work in Nigeria, says David Mark. In another news from Daily Post newspaper, NDC insists primaries hold May 29 despite Eid al-Kabir holidays. The Nigerian Democratic Congress has clarified that its presidential, National Assembly, governorship, and state assembly primaries will still hold nationwide on May 29, despite adjustment caused by the Eid al-Kabir holidays. The party stated that the decision became necessary due to transportation and logistical disruptions triggered by the festive period, including flight unavailability, which left many aspirants and members of the screening committee stranded in Abuja after the screening exercise. In a statement issued in Abuja on Wednesday, the NDC National Chairman, Senator Moses Cleopas, explained that May 28 would not be devoted to rivals, documentation with the Independent National Electoral Commission and security agencies, consultative meetings, and other preparatory activities ahead of the primaries. According to him, party teams deployed to the state are also expected to use the day for engagement with stakeholders, elders, and aspirants. Cleopas, however, warned that no state institution or security agency, including the police, DSS, and INEC, is expected to participate in any of the May 28 activities. It added that any action outside the approved guidelines will be considered illegal and unauthorized. He further said that the sequence of the May 29 exercise as presidential affirmation, National Assembly primaries or affirmation, State Assembly primaries or affirmations, and governorship primaries or affirmations. This news was sought from the Post newspaper. NDC insists primaries hold May 29, despite Eid al-Kabir holidays. On to the last news on newspaper review this morning, and I read these news from the Nation newspaper. 2027, Fubara loyalist risk political abolition after primary election loses. With primary elections coming to an end across different political parties, Governor Siminalayi Fubara of Rivers State stands out as the worst hit in the political chess game. Apart from losing out himself in his bid to secure a second time in office, all his associates suffered the same fate. In his own case, he resigned before the primary election when it dawned on him that there was no chance for him, while all his supporters vying for one position or the other were disqualified by the All Progressives Congress. Loyalists of the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Nyesom Wike, took everything. Across the country, all the APC governors seeking re-election got the party's ticket. The second time seeking governors who secured the APC's governorship tickets include Uba Sani of Kaduna State, Peter Humba of Enugu State, Diko Brada of Katsina State, Nasir Idris of Kebbi State, Umar Namadi of Jigawa State, Haba Yusuf of Kano State, and Hamad Aliyu of Sokoto State. Others include Umar Bago of Niger State, Hayati Halia of Benue State, Caleb Wutwang of Plateau State, Hagu Kevas of Taraba State, Sharif Oborowori of Delta State, Umar Heno of Akwa Ibom State, Francis Iwufu of Ebonyi State, among others. Wiki and Fubara had endured a turbulent relationship shortly after the governor assumed office in 2023. Their relationship went sour over the maintenance of the political structure and the state. This news was sourced from the Nation newspaper. 2027, Fubara loyalist risks political oblivion after primary election losses. To bring this paper review to a close this morning, here is the recap of headlines. Children's Day, captive Oyo, Bueno pupils cast shadow over celebration. ADC primary proved democracy can work in Nigeria, says David Mark. NDC insists primaries hold May 29 despite Eid-el-Kabir holidays. (2027) Fubara loyalists risk political oblivion after primary election losses. Our thoughts have come to the end of the newspaper review. Thank you very much for listening. You can download Carnival Media app from Google Play Store and Apple iOS. You can also check out our website at www.carnivalmedia.ng. My name remains Joseph Oyukola. Good morning, and please do well to enjoy the rest of your day.